Hello students, let us continue chapter 10 Reflection and Refraction. Today we are going to discuss our next important topic, that is refraction of light. So let us discuss what is a refraction of light. Actually it is a bending of light at the boundary separating the two media, that is like for example air and water or water and glass, etc., etc. When it travels from one transparent medium to another obliquely is called refraction of that particular light. Or we can say when a ray of light travels obliquely from one transparent medium to another, its speed changes. Therefore, at the boundary separating the two media, there occurs a change in its direction of propagation. This phenomenon is also known as refraction of light. For example, we all have observed when a pencil partially immersed in water in a glass tumbler appears displaced at the interface of air and water. This is one of the good example to explain refraction of light. There are a few more examples regarding refraction phenomena, like the letters appear raised when viewed through a glass slab, or a coin in a glass tumbler filled with water appears raised, and a lemon kept in a water in a glass viewed from its sides appears bigger than its actual size. So, the above day to day observations indicate that when traveling obliquely from one transparent medium to another, the direction of propagation of light in the second medium changes, and these change occurs at the boundary separating the two media. Now, to demonstrate refraction of light, let us have an activity. Place a coin at the bottom of a bucket filled with water, as shown in the figure. Now, with your eye to a side above water, try to pick up the coin in one go, in one try. Did you succeed in picking up the coin? Actually, no. When you try to pick up the coin with your eye to a side above, just above the water, you do not succeed in one go. Why? Let us discuss this. As shown in the figure, let's suppose a coin is at point O position at the bottom of a bucket filled with water. Now, when we view this coin with our eye to a side just above the water, we observe the image I of the coin, not actually O, which is above the O. When we try to pick up this coin in one go, we do not succeed in picking up the coin. This is because we move our hand up to I position where the coin is being observed. But actually the coin lies below I position, that is at O position, that is at bottom of the bucket. So what we have concluded here, in going from water to air, rays of the light bend away from the normal, and bottom of the bucket appears to be raised. That is, the apparent depth of the bucket is less than the real depth of the bucket. This is the refraction phenomena. Now next, another important topic, that is refraction through a rectangular glass slab. To understand the phenomena of this refraction of light through a glass slab, let us have an activity. Fix a sheet of white paper on a drawing board using drawing pins. Now place a rectangular glass slab over the sheet in the middle, exactly middle position. Now draw the outline of the slab with the help of pencil, and let us name the slab, the outline, as A, B, C, D, shown in the figure. Now take 4 identical pins. Fix 2 pins, say E and F, vertically such that the line joining the pins is inclined to the edge AB. That means making an angle. Now look for the images of the pins E and F through the opposite edges. Fix two other pins, say G and H, such that these pins and the images of E and F lie on a straight line. Remember, G and H are actually the images of pins E and F after passing of light through glass slab. Now, remove the pins and the slab. Join the positions of the tip of the pins E and F and produce the line up to AB. Let EF meet AB at O position. Similarly, join the positions of the tip of the pins G and H and produce it up to the edge CD. Let HG meet CD at O dash, the new point O dash. Join OO dash, also produce EF up to P as shown by the dotted line. Okay, so the light ray has changed its direction at points O and O dash. Note that both the points O and O dash lie on surfaces separating two transparent media. Now draw a perpendicular N dash as shown in the figure to AB at point O and another perpendicular M dash to CD at point O dash. The light ray at point O has entered from rarer, that is light medium, to a denser medium, that is from air to glass. Okay. Now note that the light ray has bent towards the normal. It means when the light ray travel from rarer to denser medium, it bent towards the normal. Now at O dash, the light ray has entered from glass to air, that is from denser to rarer medium. So the light here has bent away from the normal, quite far from the normal. So that means when the light ray moves from denser to rarer, it bends away from the normal. Now compare the angle of incidence with the angle of refraction at both refracting surfaces AB and CD. Now a ray EO is obliquely incident on the surface AB. That's why it is known as incident ray. Now OO dash is the refracted ray because it is refracting from air medium to glass medium, and O dash H is the emergent ray because it is emerging from glass slab to air medium. Now the emergent ray is parallel to the direction of the incident ray. Why? Because the extent of bending of the ray of light at the opposite parallel phases, that is AB, air glass interface, and CD, glass air interface of the rectangular glass slab is equal and opposite. That's why the ray emerges parallel to the incident ray. But this light ray is slightly shifted sideward. Now we can conclude that refraction is due to the change in the speed of light as it enters from the one transparent medium to another. So, refraction of light occurs according to certain laws. So, let us discuss laws of refraction of light. The first one, the incident ray, the refracted ray, and the normal to the interface of two transparent media at point of incidence should all lie in the same plane, just like the laws of reflection. And the second one, very important point, the ratio of sine of angle of incidence to the sine of angle of refraction is constant. For the light of a given color and for the given pair of media, this law is also known as Snell's law of refraction, only applicable in I should be greater than 0 and less than 90. If I is the angle of incidence and R is the angle of refraction, then sin I upon sin R will definitely be constant. The constant value is known as refractive index. Now, the refractive index. So, we have already discussed that a ray of light that travels obliquely from one transparent medium into another will change its direction in the second medium. And the extent of change in direction that takes place in a given pair of media may be expressed in terms of refractive index. The refractive index can be linked to an important physical quantity. We can say the relative speed of propagation of light in different medium. It turns out that the light propagates with different speed in different media. Light travels fastest in vacuum, we know that, with a speed of 3 into 10 to the power 8 meter per second. In air, the speed of light is only marginally less, or we can say it is also 3 into 10 to the power 8 meter per second compared to that in vacuum. It reduces considerably in glass or water. The value of the refractive index for a given pair of media depends upon the speed of light in the two media. Let us discuss. Consider a ray of light traveling from medium 1 into medium 2. Let V1 be the speed of light in medium 1 and V2 be the speed of light in medium 2. Therefore, the refractive index of medium 2 with respect to the medium 1 is given by the ratio of the speed of light in medium 1 and the speed of light in medium 2. This is usually represented by the symbol N21 as shown in our first formula. So we can write N21 is equal to speed of light in medium 1 upon speed of light in medium 2, V1 upon V2. By the same argument, the refractive index of medium 1 with respect to medium 2 is represented by N12 and can be written as N12 is equal to speed of light in medium 2 upon speed of light in medium 1, or we can say V2 upon V1. If the medium 1 is vacuum or air, then the refractive index of the medium 2 is considered with respect to vacuum. This is called the absolute refractive index of the medium. It is simply represented by N2. If c is the speed of light in air and v is the speed of light in the medium, then the refractive index of the medium Nm is given by Nm is equal to speed of light in air upon speed of light in the medium, c upon v. The absolute refractive index of a medium is simply called its refractive index. For example, refractive index of water Nw is 1.33. These means that the ratio of the speed of light in air and the speed of light in water is equal to 1.33. Similarly, the refractive index of crown glass is Ng 1.52. So, this is a chart about absolute refractive index of some material media. So, students, I hope you understood the topic of refraction and refractive index. Thank you.